How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for Friday the 12th of September. So before I jump into Endeavours, there will be timecodes in the description if you want to jump ahead to when I speak about Endeavours, or if you just want to skip some stuff, they will be there, so just check those out if you need. But I just want to go through the Seals of Endeavour store because we've got a different set of crates. It's Vermina / Periite themed, everything here. There's a Hunger Daedra polymorph if you want that. Looks a bit weird to me, but there's also a, for the $80 thing, you get a Colossus polymorph as well. So with the two motif sets here, Clan Dreamcarver, I don't suggest buying this if you want it here, because Clan Dreamcarver as a motif from guild stores is pretty cheap. Standardies Edge is a trial that people do pretty frequently, and it's pretty common from just doing normal. So this one here, not really worth, I think, investing steals, because yeah, you're not going to spend much gold getting this. Kindred's Concord on... Oh, looks like we've just been disconnected. Yep. Wow, okay. Thanks, game. Boy, that 18-hour maintenance seems to have done wonders for EU, hasn't it? Okay, before I was interrupted, the two motifs, yes, Clan Dreamcarver is quite cheap. Kindred's Concord, on the other hand, very expensive. This comes from Bastion Mimics, which is not a common thing. They're quite difficult. They're a Necrom-specific 4-man dungeon that's just like... you can look them up if you want, but yeah, it's a lot less common to find Kindred's Concord stuff, or a lot more expensive. So yeah, maybe this one's not too bad, but anything that you can just buy with gold, personally, I would just do that instead. Yeah, just so people are aware. Kindred's Concord, way more expensive than Clan Dreamcarver usually. There are no mounts in the 2000 seals category, so if you want like a cheap mount, it's not easy to get. Quite possibly one of the most diabolical hairstyles, though, that they've added is the curly tresses in Epic Rewards too. Yeah. Look at them curls. Alright, so now let's take a look at Endeavours. So my advice would be Items to Merchants, Air Atronachs, and Healing with Scribe skills. Alchemy is great though as well. Capturing a town is the only one I wouldn't really bother with. The reason for that is PvP, the towns themselves are easy to take, but they're quite influenced by the actions of other players. Sometimes it can be really painful getting to the towns to do them, whereas these ones here, they don't really change. Air Atronachs are always in the same location, whereas towns sometimes, like, you can't actually take towns, shit like that. It's just, yeah, my advice, don't bother with this one. So, yeah. I'll start with selling to merchants. This one's great, because all you have to do is go up to any merchant in the game, and you sell stuff, but you can just buy it straight back. So even if it's stuff that you don't want to sell, you don't have to sell it anyway. So what you can do is just sell an item, go to buyback here, and just buy the item back. It doesn't cost you anything to buy it back, so you don't lose any gold. You don't make any gold, but yeah, it's just a way to just do this. Just find any merchant in the game, just do it straight away without costing anything. Even if you don't have 15 items, just sell an item that's less than 15, buy it back, and then sell it again. Just, yeah, very easy. So let's jump into Alchemy now. You need 3 things. You need a solvent, and then you need 2 reagents. I would advise using poisons for this, because when you put a single item of each in, you get 4 as a result, whereas with potions you only get 1. So it's a single set of poison agents will give you to complete this endeavor. So getting your hands on some poison solvent, you just need to kill stuff. Now with the Air Atronach option, the place that I recommend for getting Air Atronachs, there are zombies there, and zombies drop poison solvent. So there is a good chance that when you go do the Air Atronach one, you'll also get some poison solvents too. So if you want to do this one later, afterwards, that's definitely a thing. But I just want to make that clear. The reagents, though, these are going to be the thing that take a little bit longer to get. Now, when you're going to, going to find the Air Atronachs, you will have to travel a bit through Craglorn, and you might find some alchemy reagents there. So, how do you know if 2 things work? Because some combinations of alchemy reagents do not actually work together, so you want to make sure you know which ones do. The easiest way to know is if you put 2 things together, This word impacts what comes out of it. If it says inert, don't do it. If it says unknown, you're good to go. Because unknown means this combination will work, you just don't know what things here they have in common. Now, I would advise certain things not using them because, for example, Columbine is very expensive. So let me just go through some common combinations that I would use together. One of my favorite combos is Whitecap and Blue Intolima. These are both usually very cheap, and you can find them in big stacks for usually not much. So yeah, that's a combination. Water Hyacinth and Dragonthorn is also a combination that I like to use a lot. These are both usually pretty cheap. And Water Hyacinth and Dragonthorn I find are very common. Water Hyacinth, just go to any water source and you can find a bunch. Unfortunately, Nonroot doesn't work with Water Hyacinth. So the two that you can get from water sources, yeah, unfortunately that combo doesn't work. Water Hyacinth and Lady Smock, also another great combination. These two, yeah, Lady Smock is super cheap these days. Dragonthorn and Blessed Thistle, another great combo. These are both super cheap, usually. Now, for a combo that does work with Nonroot, Nightshade is one you can use. And Nightshade is also usually quite cheap to buy on guild stores. And usually, the only thing is they're a bit of a pain in the ass to find in the wild. They're very small, and they just look like a little green-leaved plant. A green-leaved purple flower. Yes, I'd find it a struggle sometimes. If you want to look for this stuff on your own, my advice is when you're looking out, just go to grass in your video settings and just turn that shit off, because all the reagents will show up on the ground just on their own. Whereas when the grass is all around, it can like camouflage it in the distance. Whereas if you have it off, it's so much easier to see it in the distance to find that stuff. Also, if you have Alchemy unlocked and you have a fair bit invested, Key and Eye reagents can also, whenever you get close to Alchemy reagents, it'll cause them to glow. That can also help you a lot too. Alright, next up, we got Healing with Scribe Skills. This one is really easy, and if you've already set yourself up, you can do it basically as soon as you log in, alongside selling to merchants and crafting with Alchemy if you want to do that. The main thing is, it is missing health. So you need, obviously, some Scribe Skills to heal yourself with, but you also need a method of removing your own health. So let me go through some things that make this really fast. The best thing you can possibly get to basically allow you to do this AFK is Immobilize with Banner Bearer. So you need support level 5. If you've done a bit of, if you've either collected enough alliance points on a character or done PvP a bit, you'll have access to getting Banner. This is unbelievably good, because when you have Immobilize, it takes away health, but you also get Sage's Remedy from progressing a little bit in the Scribing skill line, and then it costs health, but it heals you as well. So just put whatever on here, and then slot that on, and then you just stand still, and you'll start healing yourself and dealing damage to yourself. And as you can see there, you can now just go walk off, get yourself a drink of water or coffee or have lunch or whatever it is, and you just progress this endeavor naturally. So if you don't have access to Banner Bearer, don't worry, there's other great options. Wield Soul. You get this immediately from completing the first quest in the Scribing skill line. Now, Healing and Sage's Remedy, these come from the Wing of the Indrik, which is the next quest in that line. It will take you a little bit initially, but once you complete it once, and you've got access to this stuff here, it'll be very easy from this point doing this endeavor, because once you've got access to something that takes away health, you'll be able to do this easily. So if you've also got access to it, Vitality is great, because it just increases your healing done. So yeah, this combination here is what I use, or Druid's Resurgence. If you have a Nightblade though, I like Sage's Remedy more. I'll show you why. So this is my usual go-to for healing. And then what I usually use alongside it is an ability that costs health. So Nightblades have access to Siphoning attacks. Siphoning Strike, sorry, is the base morph. Probably go Siphoning attacks over Leeching Strikes, because it gives you more resources back. So this costs you health, it gives you resources, while using Healing Soul takes away resources to give you back health. So it's just a symbiotic process. You use one and the other back and forth. If you don't have Siphoning Strikes, instead, go to Undaunted and get Blood Altar. This is very easy to get as well. You just have to go to the starting zone taverns. For example, Salted Wings Tavern over here. The quest giver upstairs, Turk Red Claws, is he? I can't remember what his name is. He calls you Milksop, I know that. It's the easiest way to know if he's there. Accept the quest from him, you'll unlock this skill line, and then Blood Altar will be ready, available, like, immediately. You just have to be level 10 to be able to access that. Now, your other option is just to, like, go to a higher area, or just have a bunch of enemies attack you, and then just heal yourself through that. But yeah, those are the ways. So the last thing with regards to healing with Scribe skills, if you've got a Vampire with Blood Frenzy, and you've got, like, the Scribing setup going, you can use this as it's basically the opposite of Banner Bearer, where it heals you over time. So if you don't have the Immobilize Scribing focus script, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, if you don't have this, you can just use it with any of these here, but with Sage's Remedy, because this is a lot easier to get. And then you can use Vampirism to reduce your health, so you can use those two together instead if you don't have that the immobilized one. This is a good alternative because this gives you weapon and spell damage and takes away health over time. Weapon and spell damage increase your healing done anyway, so it's just it's a great skill. Yeah, you need to level up Vampirism a little bit. It's lunchtime for me, so I'm just going to leave this here and let it do its thing. Alright, now on to Air Atronachs. Your one-stop shop for these is Spellscar. This is in Craglorn. Any of these three locations here, this place is teeming with these boys. So this is one here, this guy. So they usually spawn in groups. So all you have to do is just go through here, look for groups here, and yeah, they spawn in usually groups of 1 or 2 in these squads. There's AoE these groups down, and that'll be it. So I'm saying the big Atronachs are quite tanky. There's one there. Now, they aren't these enemies in Craglorn are quite tough, but usually there'll be a lot of people running around doing the same thing, because yeah, Atronachs are an easy endeavor. But this is kind of the only good place I think you should go to find them. Yeah, just if you see other people here, just don't go nuts. Don't obliterate them as soon as you see them. Just give them a couple of taps, because then other people get the chance to get the kill too. You don't have to kill the Atronachs. You just have to have done a little bit of damage, and then it'll count. Yeah, as you can see here, there's another one there, another one there. Just tap this guy, and then just look for another group nearby. But don't look around these big, I don't know what they're called, like spikes in the ground. They just have regular enemies. There was a bit too much damage there. My bad. Could let other people grab that. But yeah, they're usually all over the place anyway. And they don't take long to spawn. And yeah, like I said, there are all of these locations here just have groups of 1 or 2 that spawn all over the place. If you haven't been here before, if you enter Craglorn at all, you'll unlock Belkarth. So regardless of where you end up, just go to a way shrine, travel here, and you can travel north straight to Spellscar, and it's easy from there. That being said, there are 2 houses you want to look at. There's Eleanor Private Arena and Huckfield's High Hall. What you can do, whoops, accidentally jumped. You can go to Browse Homes. If you preview these houses, it doesn't work because you'll just get taken back to where you came in from. So you might just rock up in like Oridon or some shit, and that won't be helpful. But if you travel to somebody else's house of those 2 types and then leave, it'll bring you to Craglorn close by. So what I advise you do is go Eleanor Private Arena here or in Huckfield's High Hall. Travel to these, doesn't matter which one, it's free, doesn't cost you anything. You'll rock up here, you just leave, and then you get this way shrine. Up here, you got this way shrine and this way shrine, and then you got easy access to everything in Spellscar from that point. And yeah, this is honestly the only place you need for Air Atronachs, because they are everywhere. There we go. There's some poison solvents. I couldn't get any from the enemies here. Maybe they don't actually count as yeah, they're not zombies, they're blood fiends technically, so maybe that doesn't work. But yeah, you'll find some beast enemies around Spellscar if you want some poison solvents for the alchemy endeavor. Yeah, maybe just keep that in mind. But yeah, they have to be proper enemies, they can't just be like sound rippers, I don't think. Alright, I think that's enough. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? There's a lady smock there that you could use alongside something like a water hyacinth on the water edge. Let's see if there's any here. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So those three right there would give you your poison solvent stuff. Yeah, just an example there. Just run around a bit, you'll find some stuff. Yeah, just kill any beast thing. Also, a great way to get poison solvents is just to go into Stormhaven to Way Resource 1, kill the skeevers in the first room. They're very weak, and they're instant, so nobody else will kill them until you get there. And yeah, poison solvents are all over the place. Alright, that'll do for now. The Golden Vendor will be here tomorrow, so I'll make sure that's at the end of tomorrow's video. But for now, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I will see you next time. Take care for now, and happy Friday.